Howdy. And so I just want to go over a couple things for you that are available. All of our LPU students have resources and services that are available to each and every one of them, regardless of whether you're on campus or at a distance. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if I have that option. And if you have your computer where you can watch and follow along, I'd encourage you to do so. But let's go ahead, and the first thing I want to do is make sure that you're logged in. Has anybody logged into the library database yet? Yep. Okay, great, because you can't download ebooks or articles or have access to online resources without being able to log in.
So how do they log in?
Well, I'll walk you through that. Here we go. Let me share. Let's see. Okay, can everybody see my laptop?
Yep, I can.
Okay. So the first thing you want to do is go to lifepacific.edu, and then on the right-hand side under departments, excuse me, click library, and that will bring you to our library home. And if you forget your password, or if this is your first time logging in, the way you do that is just real quick. I'm not going to click this, but there's a 1-minute, 18-second video. So if you ever forget how to do what I'm explaining to you right now, the video right here will explain it very quickly. But the first thing you do is click Advanced Search. And then up in the right-hand corner here, it'll say Sign In. And then you're going to want, now you can see my computer, this is not very safe. I don't recommend it, but I don't follow my own advice. Shouldn't auto-generate, but I lose my memory, goes very quickly at my age, and so I always save my password. But if this is your first time or you have forgotten your password, hit Set Reset Password, and then you'll put in your username. And this is usually where the confusion comes. Your username is your student ID number. So whatever student ID number you were given, that's what you'll put in here. And then just hit Request New Password. And this will send an email to your lifepacific.edu email account. And once that, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to change my password right now. But once you do that, you'll have a link in that email. You simply click that link. It'll ask you to put in your username, which again is your student ID number, and then whatever password you would like. And you'll have to just re-enter it a second time. But you can choose whatever password that you would like. And then you can reset it as often as you want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign in. And once you're signed in, generally speaking, I know computers are always different, so this could be different for you. But generally speaking, once you've logged in, you shouldn't have to do it again for the time that you're on your computer, okay? Some computers might log you after a certain time, log out, and require you to log in again. But you shouldn't have to. So if you click on an ebook, it should take you right there. If you click on an article, it should take you right there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the library homepage. It is open right here, but I want to show you just in case, you know, for in the future, if you're on this and you think, oh man, I don't want to have to go through the LPU again. On library links, just click here, the drop down, and it'll say library homepage. Okay, so there's lots of stuff here, contact information. You can always email me, email the library. You can always Skype for business. I don't know if you know this, but all of you have Skype for Business available to you, which is a great feature. It's as powerful as Zoom, if not more powerful. It's got some features. But the benefit of that is that everybody that's a part of LPU is already loaded into the Skype for Business platform. And so it's really easy to find people. You just type their name in and they pop up. So all of that information is contact information, things like that. On our homepage, other things that will be of really great help for you is this left-hand side. It says LibGuides. And these are just library guides that we've created. Our most used guide is this citation LibGuide. So if you need some help with citation, this will be a great guide to help you. And I am gonna show you that also all of our online products have a citation generation feature. So they do generate citations for you, but you always want to check them against the style guide. So,
Gary, would you tell them what a citation is, please?
yeah, so we have in-text citations and we have what are called bibliographies or works cited, which when you're writing a paper and you use a thought or a direct quote from somebody, you need to let the reader know, hey, I've been influenced by another work, another person, or I'm actually quoting directly from that individual book or movie or whatever. And so we put what's called if you use the thought or if you use a direct quote, you put in the text of your paper right after you make that quote or use that idea, unique idea, not just common knowledge things, you have to put in a citation. And that citation, you guys are MLA, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is going to contain the author's last name and page number. And there's a specific format. Then at the end of the paper, you have a whole list of works cited, which if you've cited something, that's where you put all the details. Instead of just the author's last name and a page number, that's where you put the author's full name, the title of the work, publisher, date, all of that stuff. Okay, and there's different ways of citing a journal as opposed to a book. So this guide, and I'll click on it in just a second and show you real quick, will give you examples of what they look like. If a works cited is just that, anything that you've used and cited in your paper, that works cited has you gotta have the full, what we call bibliographic data, all the information on the works cited. But you also may have what's called a bibliography, and that's just any books that influenced you that you didn't actually use in the thought or the direct quote. A bibliography would include additional works that you had consulted when doing your paper. Okay, so let me just show you real quick this citation LibGuide. I want to show this because it's a very helpful thing. The other thing is these are our top 8 that are used guides, and so you may want to look at online search techniques or research strategies right here for papers and projects to kind of help you if you're starting to get stuck, kind of a brain lock. So what does this look like? Well, we have our citation guide. It'll give you examples for citing the Bible, for citing books, all these different formats of material, okay? And let me go ahead and just click on books. And within this citation guide, we give you single author, single editor. We give you examples of different types of things that you might come across. So here's the MLA 8th edition. This is what it would look like for your works cited. And this is what it would look like for the in-text inside the paper itself if you had just a single author. But what if you had multiple authors of the book? So we give you examples down here of what that would look like. Okay. And then of course we also give you different style formats like APA, SBL for religion, APA for psychology, social sciences, things. But this is just very helpful, and I would encourage you to take advantage of that. Okay, I'm going to go back to our home page right here. Here's all our COVID stuff, so everybody knows what's going on. The next thing I want you to really be familiar with, is homepage, contact information. I'm not going to go over that. That's super self-explanatory, but resources, okay? So, wait a second, time out. I'm going to back up 1 second here. I want you in your mind to think of two things, okay? There's our catalog, and then there's our resources page. This is the search box for our catalog. Our catalog is just like a big storage container that has a record of all the things that we have, okay? So when we look at this resources page, almost all of the databases, all the books, all of that stuff, they are searchable in our catalog, okay? Now, the thing I want to tell you, though, is the catalog will make mistakes sometimes. So for the most specific results, best results, oftentimes you just go directly to the database. But I kind of liken the catalog to like doing a Google search, okay? All right, so having stated that, now let's go to the resources, and we will come back and search in the catalog just to demonstrate. Okay, what do we have on our resources page? Well, here's a list of our databases. We have 3 major database providers. And what I mean by that is each one of these, EBSCO, ProQuest, and Gale, you just want to think of them like a big bucket. And in that bucket, they have a lot of individual databases, okay? In our EBSCO one, we have our religion database, ATLA. We have a communications database. So if you're doing something on a communications related thing, this would be, especially if you're doing something on religion and communication, you might probably want to use both of these databases. We also have in here our ebooks, EBSCO ebooks. So just so you know, there's a couple 100,000, almost 300,000 in EBSCO alone, okay? So you should always be able to find resources if you need them. They're not our only database provider, but they are our biggest one at this point. Then we have ProQuest, another bucket. And in here we have ABI Inform Complete. This is a business database. So if you're doing something on leadership, maybe not in this particular class, but as your program goes on and you have different classes, this is a great one on leadership, business style, management, those types of things.
Which one? Ebook or what is it?
ABI Inform Complete.
Now, where can they get access to that database?
Right here on ProQuest.
Oh, okay. So it's all.
So if you click that ProQuest, it'll take you into, I'll show you in 1 second. And then we have what's called the ProQuest Research Library. This is one that you will probably use, especially even for this class. It's a general subject database. And what that means is it covers all subjects, okay? And there's a ton of resources. It's very good. So I would encourage you for this class specifically to use the ProQuest Research Library.
Is it better than ATLA?
ATLA?
Yeah.
It is broader than ATLA. ATLA is specifically related to religion and theology. And when it says religion, it's predominantly Christian, but it's not exclusively Christian. It's Hindu, Buddhist,
yep.
All different religions.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then psych articles. So if you're doing something on emotional health, suicide, something of that nature, psych articles would be a great database to use. Okay, and all of these are in ProQuest. And then we have Gale. Again, we have more business on the Gale Business and Gale Entrepreneurship. But the other one that I want to really encourage you on is, just like the ProQuest Research Library, the Gale Academic One Library is another general topic database that's got a ton of stuff and very good. Okay. And then specifically for this class, my understanding is you're going to probably work through some different, maybe social topics or controversial topics, things of that nature. So whether it's abortion, suicide, immigration, whatever. Gale opposing viewpoints in context is just what it says. It's going to give you a multiple viewpoints on a topic. So you search your topic, and then it's going to give you research or different articles, news stories, opinion pieces on a different topic. And that's good because you want to get the flavor, you want to have academic resources, but you also want to have culturally relevant resources that you can include to say, hey, here's a news article of current opinion on a matter. And then you can use that as kind of your jumping off point to argue a case or whatever the requirements for your paper are. Okay. One more, and it's an open source, is this one right here, pro-con. It's exactly what it says, pro and con positions. Okay. And this one's an open access, so we don't have to pay for that. Anybody can access that. Okay. I'm showing you these, and then I want to demonstrate some of them, okay? The next resource that I think you really want to use is Credo Digital Reference. In our library, if you walk into the physical space, you're going to have the entire downstairs is made up of dictionaries, encyclopedias, handbooks, maps, all that stuff. They're called reference works. They give you a general overview of a topic. Generally speaking, we say start with reference works, dictionaries, encyclopedias, so that you get an overview of all the different subject matter that's related to what you're studying. Credo is an online reference resource, and it's excellent. It will give you excellent reference resources, encyclopedia articles, okay? Again, somebody studying abortion, this would be a great one, okay? These are secular resources. Now, I do have a lot of Christian encyclopedias in here and dictionaries, but it's predominantly secular works and gives you a good academic secular perspectives on different topics. And then this one right here, Statista. Use this data, this online resource. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Matter of fact, you'll get in here, and if you're anything like me, which probably isn't the case because I'm a little nerdy, you're just gonna search around and do all kinds of searching on different things because it's so cool. But Statista gives you all kinds of facts, statistics. It gives you, it compiles them into a summary. I'm forgetting the term they use, a dossier. And so it's just really good. And I'll demonstrate that real quick too. Matter of fact, I'll do it right now. I'm going to use just because for ease of use, I'm going to use use abortion right now. Okay. So I clicked on that. It should log me in automatically because I've already logged in once. There we go. So it should say up here, Life Pacific College. And I'm just going to type in the term abortion. And right here, it shows you on the left-hand side, these are the symbols that show you the different types of resources. You have statistics, forecasts and surveys. So if you're looking like, what are they forecasting is going to be the rate of abortion either in the US or around the world, different infographics. And then these dossiers, there's 7 dossiers. This is the one I really like because they compile all this stuff into a big summary. Okay, so you can see here's a dossier, abortion in the US. You were to click on that, and then you can download a PDF or a PowerPoint. So you can integrate these things right into your paper. Let's see here. I wanted to see where. Yeah. Okay. So let me just do real quick. I'm going to do the PDF, just so you can kind of get a picture of what it looks like. Okay, can you see that? Do you see the statistic of abortion? Okay. So you have your table of contents, overview, abortions globally, rate of abortion in the world by region. It breaks everything down. It'll get specifically to the US. It gives you a breakdown from 1973 to 2016, so you can see charts that track the data. So if I scroll down here, you'll see all the infographics, world, developing regions, developed regions. Europe, how does the US, North America compare in regards to Europe? So all of these, number worldwide, it gives you so much data that you can then use as evidence in your paper. Okay, this is the reality. This has been the trend. This is what we see with abortion, and this is something that, you know, it'll give you a public opinions on abortions. So in this dossier, there will be opinion surveys. What are public opinions on abortion? Those types of things. So just a great resource. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close those. Come back here. Let me show you Credo, digital reference. Again, we'll just type in a keyword, abortion. And this here is what we call a topic page. When there's a topic page, it means that they've kind of just like Statistic, compiled some good resources for you from resources from within Credo, different encyclopedias and things like that. They give you what's called a mind map. And what this is here is your subject and related terms, related ideas that are related to abortion, things that are significant that if you're studying, you might want to consider. So for instance, Roe versus Wade, any discussion should probably click on and go to an article about Roe versus Wade so you can get an understanding about what exactly happened. The abortion debate, what are the key items? What are the key issues in the debate? Well, if you click on the mind map, this topic, it will take you to an article about the debate, and that will help inform you about what are the things I really need to be writing about. What are the issues I need to be addressing? What is the debate about? Is it biological? You know, what are the ethical issues that are entailed? What are the religious issues that are entailed? Those types of things. Okay, so this mind map is very helpful for placing your subject in a broader context. So you start to understand it in a broader perspective, in a broader context, and all the other things that relate to it. Okay, so Credo is very good this way. I'll click on the title here. It'll take me to the page. You'll have an article, and then they'll have related searches. What are some terms or other phrases that you might not have thought of? These are other terms that if you click on them, it'll do another search using those terms. Related articles that you might want to use. and that just continues on. Now I said, here's one of the things about bibliographies that I really encourage people with. If you find a very good article, the value of a bibliography, there's a lot of values, but the value for research is that it gives you more places to go look. In other words, who did the writer of this article cite? Maybe I should go look at some of those articles and include those in my paper. Okay, so these bibliographies at the end are very helpful for furthering your research. And then, like I said, almost all of these online resources have a citation generator. So APA, Chicago, MLA. You can just copy this and paste it in your works cited. Okay, it tells you all the information that would be needed for the reader to know how to get to this article. Okay. All right. So that's Credo. I'm going to show you now how I'm going to go back to the home page, and we're going to use the catalog. How do you know what to search? How do you develop a search? This is probably what I call the easiest way to do it, okay? First, we approach it with what we call keywords. Just what is the term that you're most familiar with, okay? And so you would put it in here. I'm going to say abortion again. It's just a keyword term. It's just an idea. And then you want to look through, somebody give me something, abortion and what? Abortion debate, abortion, give me an idea. What could I throw in there? If we wanted to narrow our search down and we wanted to get more specific on our search.
Laws.
What's that? Laws?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So let's do abortion, and then we're going to go and notice how I do that with capital letters. That's just telling the machine language, hey, I'm looking for abortion, but I also am looking for this keyword, law. Oops. Okay, let's search that. 48,000 results. Okay. So the results are going to have something to do with both of these keywords. Now, these keywords, as I'm going to take 3 minutes here. I think I can do this in 3 minutes. The difference between keyword and a more specific way of searching called subject heading searching is huge. Keywords look throughout all of the computer record on a book. Okay. What are some things that would be included in a computer record on a book? Well, you'd have name, right? Author, title of the book, publisher, year, format, ebook or physical book or article. There's just a whole host of things that go into the electronic record in their computers about a single book. If you put a keyword, like we just did, the computer's going to look through every single thing. And anywhere it finds that word law or abortion, it's going to bring back a result for you. We've got 48,000. A more specific way is to say, hold on, I'm not just looking for the word, I'm looking for the subject of abortion and the subject of law. Because one of those places, we call them a field in the computer, is not just author or book title, but it's called a subject field. In other words, what is this book about? What's its subject matter? And so that's where we really want to search, because we want to get results that are relevant. Let me give you an example. What if I'm looking for love, right? And I type in love, and I get all kinds of results back. Matter of fact, I'll get back results like a book about Kevin Love, a basketball player. Is that related to the topic of love? Not really, huh? It isn't. It's his name, but it's not at all related to the subject matter I'm looking for. So I'd want to, instead of just putting the keyword in, I'd want to put the subject heading. So how do we find the subject heading? That's what I'm going to show you. We put in our keywords like this. We look for a title that looks promising. Oh, defense of abortion, okay? And we click on the title. And then we click on view description. Almost every article or book is gonna have what are called subjects. These are subject headings. Here we see abortion, moral and ethical aspects. And Duth says, this doesn't tell us much about abortion or a law. Now, if we're looking for moral and ethical aspects, this would be a great subject heading. But let's search a little farther and see if we see anything else. Abortion, a dialogue, pro-choice, pro-life, American law. So let's click on that one. We'll do the same thing. We'll click on the title. We'll click on view description. And here we go. Now this subject heading is very relevant. Abortion law and legislation, or in the United States. So if we clicked on that, now every result that we get back is going to be in some way related to that subject matter of abortion law in the United States and legislation. And look, we went from 48,000 results down to 2,615. Okay. Now I know I just dropped something on you. It is a very important thing, and we're going over a lot of stuff, so you might not remember this, but this is a very important step to speed up your searching. If you can find the subject headings, you'll get the most relevant results back. And you can cut out about 100,000 results, narrow it down. Matter of fact, let's say your professor said, hey, not only do I want something, want good resources, but I want them very specific. I want them within the last so many years. Well, on this side, you can narrow it down further. On the left-hand side, you scroll down and you can pick a date range or say last 10 years, okay? When I do that, we're down to 352 results, okay? So it's narrowed it down considerably, and we're getting to a more manageable, workable collection of resources. The other thing that you may do is look on this side, and what do we see? We see different types or formats of material. So 189 of these books, of those 300, are books, okay? 22 of them are theses and dissertations. So those are MA master's theses or doctoral dissertations. But up here, we also see there's 81 that are articles. And these articles are coming from those databases I showed you earlier. They also may be coming from other schools. We may not have them, okay? Our catalog does all of our resources, but it also does the resources around the world. And so if you start your research early and you find a very good article that you think, boy, I really need that. The title sounds great. If it has an abstract looks great, but we don't own it, then you want to email me and say, can you get this? And you know what? I will try. And we have a very good success rate on getting articles from other institutions, okay? All right, so that's how, real quick, down and dirty, how to do research. On those LibGuides, you can look at some of those LibGuides on research, and it will go over it again for you in more detail. So let's say you like this book and you want to look at it. If you click on the ebook, view ebook, I'm already logged in, so it should take me. This took me to the EBSCO database, and here is the ebook. Okay, and you can read it online.
Mhm.
You can download the book. Now, to download the book, however, I'm going to have to. Okay. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, the amount of things I have to tell you have to do. To download an ebook, you have to sign in to, you have to create and sign in to an EBSCO account. It's completely different than your library account. It's completely different than your Moodle account. It's like you probably are going to have so many stinking accounts running through your head. It's like, what? But basically, you just have to, you create whatever username you want. You create whatever password you want. And then you create yourself an EBSCO account, and you have to do that in order to download ebooks. Okay. And then it will also tell you also have to download a program called Adobe Digital Editions. And basically that's just something that it can read the book on. Okay. But, and they will check the book out to you for 7 days. The benefit of that is it saves your place if you're reading. And it also, if it, now this is unlimited user, that means everybody can get it. But if it's a single user book, it means nobody else can get it until your 7 days are up. Okay. Okay, so that's how you use the catalog. That's a very brief, quick way on how you can do a search. I am going to show you the databases real quick, just so that you're familiar with them. And the same process that we just went through of using a keyword and then looking for subject headings applies in the databases as well. Let me go back to the home page. I'll come over to resources, and I'm going to go into EBSCO. And then we're going to search. Now, remember on that page it said, I said it's a bucket and it holds a bunch of databases? Well, you want to make sure that you're searching the right ones. And the way you do that is right here, choose database. So right now it's going to search all of these. Okay, everything that's clicked, it's going to search. Let's say you're not looking for ebooks right now. We can deselect them. And let's say we're not we'll leave both of these. So we might want some religious perspectives from different denominations or even religions on abortion. And we'll leave communication. What are some of the maybe there's some articles. So we'll leave that, and we'll click. And open dissertations just means that these are dissertations that are available to everybody. We'll click OK. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do abortion. And we'll add, so here you have, it's already kind of self-generating for us some searches. But then we're going to say and. There's ethics, mental health. Remember, always do it capital for either and, or nor. Those three different, what we call Boolean searches. Law. And it does, the words don't have to be capitalized, only the and, or, nor. Now let's search and see what we get.
Why can't we just put a plus sign in between abortion and law?
I don't see here. Every database will use the capital letter and, or nor for Boolean, but every database doesn't follow the same convention of using plus or minus.
Okay.
So this is a universal kind of language that all search engines are using, but and then some have other specific things. But so here we got 2,531 results. Okay. Just some basics here. You have the title. This tells us that it's available on, like, in a web version, you can read it online, or as a PDF to be downloaded. Okay. this is a thesis and a dissertation. This is an academic journal. This is a thesis and a dissertation. So it probably hasn't been, it's been submitted for a person to graduate, but hasn't necessarily been published as a book or anything like that yet. But as you see, we don't have down here any of these links. So what this just means is that we don't have access to this. And well, that's not exactly true. Right here is a link. So this is going to take you to the open dissertations, and that's where you would access it from. But if you got a result where there's nothing here and there's no link like this, and you wanted it, that's where you would say, you know what, I want to contact Gary and see if he can get it for me. Okay? And you do that by here, clicking on the title. And then on the right-hand side, clicking Cite. Remember I said there, every one of these has a citation generation. Here's all the different citation styles. You could go down, copy, and then send me an email with that information. Say, I'm trying to get this article. Could you get it for me? Try to get it for me, please. And we'll do that. Okay? So let me go back. What about subjects, subject headings? How do I find subject headings in these databases? Not just the catalog. Keep your laws off my body. Analysis and message framing and current Planned Parenthood abortion discourse. Again, right here are the subjects. So the subject headings to use here would be abortion, reproductive rights would be another term that could be used. So sometimes the names are different than what we use, but you would use these and you would just say, you know what, I put in up here. Let's do this actually. I'm going to copy this. Copy reproductive rights. I'm going to go up and I'm going to redo the search. So clear. I'm going to say abortion. And I want to let the computer know that I'm looking for a subject, not just a keyword. So I click this link here. I go down here and it says subject terms, SU. And I'm going to paste in that reproductive rights. And I'm going to let it know that I'm also looking for this subject term. Okay, so now I'm saying I only want back things that have to do with these subjects. Okay, and I'll search. We went from 2,000 down to 39. See the difference between keyword and subject headings? It really is much more focused. Okay, so the other thing is over here. Like we limited by date, you can do the same thing. You can say, I want things in the last 10 years, 15 years. You can limit by full text. And that means only give me back the things I can get the text for right now. So let's say it's last minute and you can't send me an email, say, can you get me an article? I need it now. Then you'd select full text. And all the results are going to be things you can download right now. And then if you're a professor, and there will be professors in certain classes that will say, I want peer-reviewed journal articles. That means they've gone through a very stringent process of review. And if you select this, it's going to narrow it down even more. We're down to 12 right now. Okay? So these are all limiters that you can use, and every database has them to help you limit by date. Say you get a huge result, too many results. There's no way you're going to go through 3,000 articles, right? You know, you don't have enough time to sit there and so limit it. Start limiting by date. Start limiting by full text or peer reviewed. You know, the full text option gets used a lot. My only hesitation with that is that oftentimes some really great articles are out there, but you don't have the full text. You just have an abstract, a short paragraph that tells you about the article. And so you don't really want to always throw those out, the baby out with the bathwater kind of thing, because there might be some really good stuff you're missing. Okay. And then also different subjects. If you're wanting more subject terms, just hit subject down and it'll tell you. So that's a lot of information. You may have to, you're going to have to go, it's iterative. You know, you have to go over and over before it gets ingrained. And what did that guy say again? What was he talking about? So you're always welcome to call me, to Skype me, to email me, and I'll walk through with you online your search. I'll help you to develop search strategies. However, I don't want to be in the habit of doing the searches for people, because then it's not helping you develop those skills. But pretty much all of these are, they all have very similar features and are the same way. So somebody's
Gary,
got
I sent you a-
chat, it looks like.
I just sent you a quick message. I was researching online.
Yes.
One of the ladies used the asterisk.
Yes. So, okay. So I'm going to be honest, Victor, I'm going to be honest with you. This is an entry level class.
Okay.
And when we start,
Thank you. That sounds good. Thank you.
I mean, even using Boolean searching gets to be a little bit more advanced, but basically what that is doing is you take the root of a word, you add an asterisk at, instead of, let's say, give me a root of a word that has a bunch of different words that come out of it.
The root itself is a word, right? Root cause.
Well, not two words, but like a word with swim, swimming, swimmers.
Okay.
If you wanted to get all the results for those different, swim, swimming, swimmers,
Yeah.
whatever, you would take swim.
Okay.
And then put that asterisk, and then it takes all the variants that could come with that root and gives you results for it. But there's so many things. You can say search, and I want this word, and I want this word within 5 spaces of that word. I mean, there's so many things you can do, but yeah, it's not necessary at this stage. It's usually by the time the person's getting to their master's or.
Okay, sounds good. I think that would be it, Gary. Thank you for spending an hour with us.
You bet.
And appreciate it. I've recorded this, so I'm going to post this in this class, but also in 2 of my other classes, English 101A
Okay.
and 101.9.
I do want to show you guys right here on our homepage. You may have thought, well, what is this Skype for Business? Where do I get that? If you come to Services tab and the drop down here, it will show you
Right.
Office 365 and Skype. Okay. And so if you click that, it will give you the instructions how to install Office 365 with Skype for Business. And the reason I just encourage everybody to do it, one of the reasons, if you need help, just like Zoom here, you can share your screen with me and I can take control of it and walk you through stuff. I can share my screen with you. It just provides a lot of options. So, okay.